What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails to Azure. Last time, we got started on our second day of the SSS being kind of back together, obviously with new members. And it's a very rainy day outside. Very rainy, as you can see. But we did get our first job done, which was to help our good little Momo here to get her umbrella back. You didn't forget anything in the store this time, did you? No, but I think the bread you baked us is already cold now. Sniffle. Hey, don't you start tearing up again. I'll make you a new loaf, so none of that, okay? Bennett's really coming a long way, too. She used to be very, kind of aggressive. But yeah, so we took care of that, and we still have 2 more jobs to do, as well as checking in at the, checking in with Ashley at the exchange place, but let's go ahead and do these first. So we have to go to Chief Robert, so he's going to be at the IBC, and then Crossbell Civic Center. So I guess we'll go to City Hall. City Hall is closer. We could just kind of loop around. Oh, and we should definitely go to East Street, because it's always fun to see which bracers are where each day. Let's actually do that first before we go to the Civic Center. I guess we can pop in, see what Ilya and Risha are up to as well. Unless they're busy, we might get told to leave. Hello there, SSS. We appreciate your visiting. However, I regret to inform you... Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry about that. We didn't realize now was a bad time. Well, it's not as if we had any particular reason for coming. We can visit another time. Until then, sorry to bother you, sir. Okay, yeah. I figured that might happen. That's fine, though. See who's walking and hanging about. It is a shame that, I mean, obviously it's good for them. Great for them. Estelle and Joshua finally have Ren back, and, you know, Ren is sticking with them. But the unfortunate thing is, obviously, they're, you know, not here right now. But, hopefully it won't be too long before we see them again. Yeah, so let's just check the, Bracer Guild postings real quick. See where everyone's at. Arios is still in Remiferia. Scott and Wenzel are on standby. And Lynn and Aolia are at the medical college. Well, I guess we can say hi to them. They should be up here if they're on standby. Hey, look who it is. The SSS, it's been some time since you were in town. Good to see you again, Scott, Wenzel. You two must be bracers, talented looking ones at that. Hey, you're from that gang in the downtown district. And you, from the looks of things, you must be a CGF guardswoman. Haha, these are some pretty interesting, unconventional recruits you have here. Wazi's a given, but how did you know I was a member of the CGF just from a glance? Simple, you don't carry yourself like any police officer I've ever seen. Take it from us bracers, you need to have an eye for these things in this line of work. Thank you very much for the advice. For sure, we'll probably be helping each other out, a lot more from here on, so let's keep up the hustle. Good words. We've been getting more and more requests through the Orbital Net lately. Especially on days like these, they're pouring in as quickly as the rain. Only problem is, we're so tied up that we have to reject the low priority ones. Sometimes we forward them to the SSS, so be a lamb and take them off our hands, will you? Some of them, sure. Looks like the requests are piling up as always, no surprise there. Yeah, but we're not gonna let them outdo us. Alright, well, we saw where everyone is and what they're up to. So now we can head back to the administrative district. And go to the former City Hall. Welcome to the Crossbell Civic Center. Oh, pardon me, SSS. Thank you very much for coming. Hello, we're here about the request you sent in. We also have a few new members helping us out today. A pleasure. Nice to meet you. And you as well. The Civic Center, huh? Feels a little weird having to call it that now. Yeah, I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that this isn't City Hall anymore. It'll take some getting used to for sure. They've already relocated to their new building. Now it's nearing completion. Oh, okay, so City Hall is going to be an Orcus Tower. That said, the Civic Center will continue to operate as a branch office of sorts for the local government. In that sense, it's still a terrific resource for the community, the way it has been. That's good to know. Yes, and this reception desk will continue to serve as a point of contact for a variety of residential and municipal services. Alright, this job is about the vacancies again. Attempts to notify the population of this have largely gone unnoticed, however. We've gotten quite a lot. I keep yawning. Excuse me. Quite a lot of confused inquiries as a result. Sorry, that's not what you came here for. Not a problem. Sounds like you have your work cut out for you. Bureaucracy just couldn't get more dull, though, could it? If it were up to me, I'd given this place a little entertainment district flair. Maybe make it a watering hole for public officials. Civil service by daylight, nightclub by moonlight. I'm sure the SSS would be more popular if we ever spearheaded that. That doesn't sound like the kind of popularity we want. What would our support requests even be? Our duty is to protect and serve the people, Wazzy, not to prepare and serve alcohol. It's kind of fun to picture, though. Ahem. Anyway, Lloyd, aren't you forgetting the reason we came here? Oh, right. Sorry about that. About the support request? Yes, allow me to explain. I'm sure you all know what a change of residence notice is, correct? Anyone moving in or out of Crossbell City is required to file one. Recently, however, we know... Well, I guess the first job we did in the first game was just confirming if residencies were vacant. Recently, however, we noticed some suspicious names on several forms. Suspicious how? Well, you see, they didn't belong to anyone registered within the city. We checked each instance we came across, but none of them matched... Oh my god, if I go one more time, this is ridiculous. I'm not even tired. Any citizens or corporate bodies in our records. With that in mind, I was hoping you could look into the addresses the suspicious names are filed under. Just to be safe, I would also like you to check on the former residents as well. In other words, you want us to confirm the status of the previous and current occupants of every location. If there's even the slightest possibility this is a criminal matter, then we can't afford to ignore it. A situation like this calls for a full investigation. We won't leave a single stone unturned. I assume you have a list of suspicious addresses in question? But do you happen to know the whereabouts of each of the previous occupants as well? Unfortunately, only one of them notified us of their new place of residence. The others are completely unaccounted for. Naturally, that's where our sleuthing comes in. Let's start by checking each address and previous occupant we know the location of. We might learn something about the other former residents during our investigation. Yeah, that should work. Do you have some sort of list we can work off of? Of course, I made copies of each of their forms for you in advance. Okay, we'll hold on to these. Looks like we have a total of 3 places of interest. The first is in the residential district. Ellie, do you recognize this address? Let me see. Oh, that's the house right next to my grandfather's. The residents are the High Bloods. Is this the name of some kind of company? A stockbroker named Bond was living there with his family last I remember. Yeah, that's the name listed as the previous resident. A stockbroker named Bond? Wasn't he one of the Gnosis victims during the cult incident? Yes, I'm certain of it. I heard he and his family went through a rough patch after the incident, but I wasn't aware they moved. Wait, didn't we run into Bond again during Cold Steel 1? Aren't they in Erebonia? That's worrisome. Didn't we do a job, one of the side jobs in Cold Steel 1 was like his briefcase got mixed up with someone else's, I believe? That's worrisome. Do you suppose they got wrapped up in some kind of trouble? We can't know for sure, but Bond did submit a change of residence notice. It says he moved to East Street. Oh, I guess not. On the 2nd floor of the Acacia Apartments. That's just left of the Bracer Guild. Well, he could still be living here. Maybe he just did some business in Erebonia. The residential district in East Street. That's 2 places on our agenda so far. The next address is also on East Street. I know this one. It should belong to the Fisherman's Guild. Wait, what? What's wrong? The form says the current occupant is the Imperial Fishing Club. I don't think I've ever heard of them before. You're a member of the Fisherman's Guild, aren't you, Lloyd? Have the other members said anything about this? We kind of had this conversation already. Well, I've been kind of busy lately, so I haven't had much time for fishing as I'd like. There's also no new address listed for the Fisherman's Guild. Maybe they just changed their name? We'll find out when we get there. The final address is the first floor of Lotus Heights in the downtown district. The name of the previous resident was Gaithner. There's no current residence listed for him either. The new tenant is Mr. Sean Arnham. Wait, why does that sound so familiar? Maybe because it's the name of a famous fairy tale author. What? He's the man who wrote Mark and the Witch in the Deep Forest. It's one of the library's most popular children's series. Remember, Lloyd, we ran across that name while investigating Ravache. Yeah, that's right. It was the password on one of the doors, wasn't it? Wow, though. I can't believe a famous author would choose to live downtown. Me neither, considering he's been dead for years now. Oh, right. I knew that. Not to rub it in, but this sounds like the sort of thing you should have caught when our phantom penman turned in his form. I can't apologize enough for that. We do try to be careful about these things, I swear. We understand it must be a busy time for the Civic Center with the new mayor in office, not to mention the relocation. Yeah, the ones who should be apologizing are the people who submitted these forms. Yes, I suppose you're right. Not to worry, the SSS is on the job. Let's get this investigation started, everyone. We'll report back once we've verified the situation at each of these addresses. Thank you so much. I'm counting on you. Alright, well, residential district is going to be the closest one, I suppose. So it's going to be the building down the stairs to the left, next to Ellie's house. See if anyone of interest is in here. Lecter said he was staying for a week, so I'm sure he's still around somewhere. With that Shirley girl. So that's probably the building in question, and this is Ellie's house. We can see if Mr. McDowell is home. Scribble, scribble. Joanna, are you drawing on the windows? Oh, well, they were so foggy that I simply was, excuse me, my lady, I really should be getting back to my cleaning. Uh-huh. So that's the excuse. The 3 youths who moved in next door have been rather problematic. They drive recklessly around the city, blast loud music in the dead of night. Such behavior is simply intolerable. But even should I complain, they refuse to listen to reason. This is quite a dilemma. I wonder if it's those same guys who were doing the driving the other day. Well, let's find out. Next to the McDowell estate. This must be the place. Excuse us, is anyone home? No luck. Is the door locked? No, actually, it's open. I hear some voices inside, too. Maybe they're so busy talking they didn't notice us. Why don't we just stroll on in? They wouldn't have left it open if they wanted to keep us out. And besides, this is official police business in a way. That doesn't mean we can barge into people's homes whenever we want. But we are in dire need of some answers, so we don't have a choice. Let's go inside and make our presence known. Alright. Yup, it's them. Man, the 3 of us were like Gehenna on wheels out there. Heh, nothing like a little rainy Morning drift racing, huh? No kidding, my heart's still pounding like crazy. By the way, Reggie, what happened to those girls you called? Oh yeah, they should be here any minute now. See what I tell you. Ha, perfect timing. No. Wait, aren't you those cops from yesterday? What the hell are you doing here? You're the three who were arrested for reckless driving. Care to explain exactly what's going on here? I think we just stumbled on a burglary in progress. Caught red-handed, let's book them. The hell are you going on about? Why would we be laying around like this if we were here to rob the place? More importantly, who let you flatfoots in here to begin with? This is our property. Where do you get off barging in like this? Your property, you mean? That'd make them the new residents. Excuse us, gentlemen, we're here on official police business. There's a few things we need to ask you. This shouldn't take long. So let me get this straight. The three of you came to Crossbell to get some real-world experience. Then you came across this house for sale while looking for a place to stay, and Yuri bought it on a whim. Do I have that correct? That's right. Finally get it through your skulls? Jeez. Just one more thing. The residency forum here is listed under the name of High Bloods. What's that about? Haha, you want to know? That's what we call our dynamic trio. It's because we got noble blood coursing through our veins. You're not dressed like one. Like the other two, yes, but the guy on the right is just dressed like a normal, like, workman. Pretty sick name for three guys blessed by the goddess, huh? Damn straight, all our dads are higher-ups at the Vernon Company. Okay, well, I guess he's kind of dressed for someone for cars. As a matter of fact, Yuri's is on the board of directors. You should be groveling at our feet. Heh, couldn't have put it better myself. Oh, finally. Hello, ladies. Now, these are the real deal. Pardon us, which one of you is Mr. Highbloods? Oh, we're not interrupting, are we? No, not at all, girls. They were just leaving. Well, take a hike already and don't let the door hit you on the way out. Okay, we get the message. Looks like they're in for a good time. I wouldn't mind staying behind a bit. They struck me as spoiled brats coasting on their parents' money. Yeah. It's a shame that such a beautiful home fell into their hands. I can't imagine this is what Bond wanted. Nothing about their contract sticks out to me as illegal, though. It's frustrating, but there's nothing more we can do about it. True enough, we should just leave them alone for now. Anyway, this is all we needed to check in the residential district. Should we pay a Bond a visit now, Lloyd? I'd like to hear his side of the story. Same. I'm worried about how his family's doing. Okay, let's go see them at their new home in East Street. They're staying at the Acacia Apartments. Alright, well, we'll go check in on them next. And then, of course, we still have to check the residency in the downtown district. Yep, in here. I believe Bond was on the second floor. Yep. Oh, we have visitors. I remember you. Hello, we're with the Crossbell Police, Special Support Section. You're Bond, correct? We met during the cult incident. Yes, of course. I'm in your debt for rescuing me from that terrible fortress. I've been wanting to express my gratitude for you all this time. You have my deepest thanks. And mine as well. Our family owes you a great deal for all you've done for us. Not at all, we were only doing our duty. I'm glad to see you're all in good health. Haha, if only because you and your team, but I digress. Was there a particular reason you came to visit today? There is, actually. I see, so you four are investigating the dubious change of residence forms. I take it you'd like to hear the details of how I sold our home, then. Yes, sorry to pry, but we need to confirm that it was all above board. It's fine, I understand where you're coming from. The sad truth of the matter is we had to sell the house to help repay our debt. The buyer turned out to be the same real estate agency we originally purchased from. Everything about the transaction was legitimate. So as far as I know, nothing remotely illegal occurred at all. That's a relief to hear. I do have a question though, and you have no obligation to answer, and I'd understand if you'd rather not. But would you mind divulging how it is your family fell into debt? Well, as you may suspect, it was a consequence of my actions this past spring. My memories from then are still a blur. I made some ill-advised investments while under the influence of those horrible blue pills. After the incident, our lives came crashing down and we fell into serious debt. I'm so sorry. It's alright, believe it or not, I feel blessed after everything that happened. Thankfully, I was able to cover most of the debt by selling all of our assets. Since I personally took on the losses, I was fortunate enough to keep my job. Most importantly, my wife and daughter stayed with me through it all. They still love their fool of a husband and father. Dear, you promise not to say things like that again. We're a family, nothing will change that. Aww. We made a vow, remember? For better or for worse, for richer or for poorer. Oh, Creel, you truly are the love of my life. I'm so grateful to have you and Sunita. Dear, please, not when we have company. You started it. Wow, you two really have something special together. They say home is where the heart is. As long as you're together, where you live doesn't really matter, does it? Haha, a bit of grandiose way to put it, but yes, I suppose you're right. In any case, I've been working hard at making a fresh start and keeping my nose clean. And I'll be sure to pay off the rest of our debt too, for my wife and daughter's sakes. Oh, darling. You're a good man, Bond. Please let us know if you ever require our assistance again. That's right, we'll be there for you. Haha, I'm thankful that you would even go to such lengths for me. We'll be sure to call the SSS if we happen to need your help. So, was that all you needed? I'd be happy to answer any other questions you might have. No, that's okay, we got what you came for. Thank you for your cooperation. Shall we get going then? That would be for the best. We'll show ourselves out. It was nice seeing you, Bond. We'll be rooting for you and your lovely family. Much appreciated. I'll do what I can. As will we. And I think that's Sunita with the cat over there. Oh, hello. Were you speaking with Mother and Father? That's right. The six of us were having a nice chat together. You have wonderful parents, Sunita. You think so too? They've been closer than ever now, especially after we moved. Hee, I couldn't ask for better parents. Aw. Isn't that right, Mary? Yeah. Haha, sounds like Mary agrees. Yes, I'm happy for them. Anyway, that confirms the whereabouts of Bond and his family. Let's get back to investigating the rest of the addresses on our list. Okay, so it was... I don't exactly remember in downtown where it is. Let's see. So, Residential District, that was it. East Street. Oh, right, the Fisherman's Guild. And then Lotus Heights, okay. Well, we're already here, so... Currently under renovation, Imperial Fishing Guild. It's the same as last time we came. Are you sure you don't know what happened here, Lloyd? Not a clue, honestly. I haven't been keeping up with the Fisherman's Guild at all recently. Hold on, looks like the door's unlocked. Smarmy little, you call yourself a fisherman? What he said. We're not gonna stand for you strong-arming us out like this. Did you hear that, Lloyd? I recognize those voices. Let's check it out. Excuse us. Oh. And who might you be? Huh, wait. It's Lloyd! You came at just the right time. Go ahead and tell him, Lloyd. The Crossbell branch of the Fisherman's Guild is a place where all anglers are supposed to stand together as comrades, rod to rod. Back up. What's going on here? So you belong to the Fisherman's Guild, do you? Have you come to voice your petty grievances as well? Well, it's true I'm a member, but... Lloyd flashed his detective notebook to the man. Yep. You're investigating suspicious addresses? I suppose it's true we submitted the residency form before registering as a business. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Lord Lakelord III. Oh wait, wasn't the guy at Thor's? Isn't he the son of this guy? What was his? I can't remember his name. Yeah. It's definitely him. Otherwise known as the heir of Erebonia's Lakelord Company, the leading fishing equipment manufacturer in all of Zemuria. As for the Imperial Fishing Club, it is none other than the professional angling association that I represent. The Lakelord Company. Have you heard of it, Lloyd? Yeah, any fisherman worth his bait would be familiar with the Lakelord name. Like he said, it's the #1 fishing gear brand on the continent. You can't cast a rod anywhere without seeing their stuff. Wow, they're that prolific? But what business would an heir to an Imperial company have in Crossbow? Well, that business, of course, is to further expand the reach of my glorious Imperial Fishing Club. You're standing in our newest foothold. Here, it's all in the fine print, officers. Let me take a look at that. It's the rental agreement for this building. Everything here checks out. The current tenant is the Imperial Fishing Club. Ha, now do you understand? You can't let him get away with this, Lloyd. He's trying to usurp the Fisherman's Guild. Usurp? That's right, he snatched that lease away from Branch Mayor Cerdan without even discussing it with him. This cockabully spared no mere convincing the real estate company to transfer it over. We might have been a tad forceful, but I assure you we followed all legal processes. Furthermore, this establishment was being wasted on commoners such as yourselves, oh boy. Well, your son isn't as gung-ho as you. The Fisherman's Guild views angling as no more than a hobby or a pastime. That's to say nothing of your shoddy equipment. Hey, don't forget I'm a member too. This discussion is over. We've made our case perfectly clear, so kindly leave so you can report back to this Cerdan of yours. I'll leave the rest to you, Salem. Yes, sir. Don't run away, you coward. That's right, this isn't over. Something tells me he's not coming back. How did this happen? We can't let them get away with it. Right, stealing our branch from running our under us crosses every fishing line at once. Branch Manager Cerdan's gonna want to hear about this too. He'll know what to do. Hey Peter, what's going on? I'm still a little confused. Well, that's right, you've been absent for a while, Lloyd. First things first, let's get out of this rain and talk somewhere else. I'll call the branch manager and have him meet us at the Garante Jazz Bar in the back alley. We'll be sure to wait up for you, Lloyd. The two of us are going to go on ahead for now. See you there. Seems like there's more to the story. Wonder what caused all this. Very good question. I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to have to follow up if we want an answer. Let's head to the Jazz Bar. Sorry for the delay, I was getting a bit cold. Grabbed a blanket. Anyways, let's head over to the Jazz Bar. So we want to go to the back alley. Yeah, right here. Oh, hey, Cerdan is here. Nice. Hey, Lloyd. Glad to see you made it. Sorry to drag you all this way. But now that we're here, though, it's time to begin the meeting. First, we have to fill you in on the details, Lloyd. Truth is, our guild branch has been on hiatus the last few months. You can think of it as a self-imposed suspension. Suspension? Yep, it's because the man behind the horrible incident, Joachim, was one of our members. Yeah. Once the dust settled, we all decided to take some time off to re-examine ourselves. But his actions were his own. You shouldn't feel responsible for them. Sure, we weren't directly involved in the incident and certainly didn't do anything criminal, but Joachim was still one of our own, a guild brother. And yet, not once did we see any signs of the sinister man plotting beneath the surface. In all honesty, we owe a heavy debt to society for failing to notice. Certain. Well, let's set that aside for now. About a week ago, I received a notice from the real estate agency that manages our building. Perhaps it was because of our hiatus, but they claimed the property was abandoned and declared our contract null and void. They then informed us that they'd signed a new contract with the Imperial Fishing Club. We tried getting in contact with the Imperial Fishing Club ourselves, but it didn't go well. And when we dropped by the branch today, the representative was in there acting like he owned the place. I mean, sure, that's what the contract says, but we didn't learn the truth about it until today. The rest you already know, Lloyd. This is a little more complicated than I was expecting. But I think I understand the situation. Yes, our building being usurped by the Imperial Fishing Club, headed by the heir of the Lake Lure Company himself. As a fellow angler, I take no issue with them wanting to expand their horizons. But not at our expense, especially not through the use of coercion. I don't even understand why they hate us so much in the first place. It's harassment, plain and simple. Well, it's, as we saw in Cold Steel, a lot of these nobles from Erebonia look down on commoners. Still, what can we even do about it? Other than bide our time, nothing for now. Still, we can't just sit back and let this spell the end of the Fisherman's Guild Crossbell branch. So while it was shorter than I would have liked, we have no choice but to end our hiatus. Then in that case, the Crossbell branch of the Fisherman's Guild is officially back in business. Nice, I've been waiting for this. However, all members will be starting over at amateur fishing rank. I'm also going to have to suspend the rank certification exam too. Huh? Wait, hold on a second. You can't be serious, can you? No, I mean I'm a master fisher. Not anymore, you aren't. We're kicking things off with a clean slate, no exceptions. All that hard work. Oh, it's not so bad, Copan. You'll move up in the ranks in no time when the exam returns. Easy for you to say, you stalled out at hobbyist fisher rank. Okay, settle down, Copan. I guess that means I'm losing my rank too. To make up for it, I'll supply you all with some new fishing gear. Here, boys, take these. Oh, there we go. Alright. I'll just leave you guys to it. As for me, I'm going to get on work on finding us a new office. Let's meet up again soon. We can share any updates we have, especially if they're about what the Imperial Fishing Guild's up to. Yeah, got it. That took a while, but we finally got to the bottom of what's happening with the old Fisherman's Guild building. Yeah, we've done all we can on this end. Let's get back to investigating the rest of the addresses on our list. Yeah. I know how fishing works. That does suck for them, though, losing the fishing building. Hopefully we can come to a nicer resolution with that. I do want to at least finish this job before we finish up for the video. Because then we'll just have one more job to do before heading over, well, down here. Yep, Lotus Heights, there should be a vacancy. I don't know where, though. Is it you? Well, if it's in Geithner, you seem to be doing alright for yourself. How's business? Good, I hope. It is, thankfully. Everything's going smoothly so far. Oh, right, I brought you a cake as a gift. Please enjoy. Why, thank you kindly. If you're not in a rush, why don't we share some over a cup of tea? Wasn't he like the old resident? Lotus Heights in the downtown district. This should be the place. Excuse me, is anyone home? No answer. Is it locked? Yeah, it's bolted tight. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but I feel like I can sense someone inside. Really? Ah, the old pretend you're not home and maybe they'll go away trick. So what now? Is this the part where we get to barge in without a warrant? As much as I hate indulging you, we may have to consider it if there's no other options. What was that? Sound of someone tipping their hand. Which means your intuition was spot on. Let's give them one more chance. Excuse me, we know you're in there. I'd like to ask you a few questions. Someone's stubborn. You don't suppose they bailed out the window? It'd be a real problem if they did. Are you the ones making all that racket? What's going on here? Oh, sorry about that. We're with the Crossbell Police Special Sports Section. We're here to speak with the tenant of this apartment. Do either of you know who lives here? Well, of course I do, but before that, how about you start by telling us what's going on? Sure thing. So that's the way of it. You need to ID the resident of this unit here. I think I may owe you all an apology in that case. Why? Well, to tell you the truth, that used to be my apartment not too long ago. Oh, so you're a Geithaner then. Yep, I'm the dummy who forgot to submit his change of residence notice. There should still be enough time to get one in, though. So consider the message received. I'll have it done by the end of the day. Thank you, that'd be a great help. On that note, would you mind sharing with us why you chose to move? Of course, it was a bit of a twist of fate, actually. I was working as a trader before I screwed up and lost everything a year ago. That's how I wound up here. Recently, an old business associate of mine decided to lend me a hand after hearing about what happened. They offered me a job in Calvert a couple weeks ago, so I accepted it on the spot. If that's the case, what are you still doing here? Just driving by. Figured I should thank everyone in the building who supported me when I needed it the most. I don't know where I'd be if not for them. Ho ho, it was nothing special, my friend. Alright, thanks for being honest with us, Geithner. Now we just need to know more about the new resident. Ah, right. Is there something specific we should know about them? Well, thing is, this particular tenant's situation is a bit unusual. Let me have a try. Hello, this is Tance. Is anybody in there? If you are, mind opening up? These folks here are with the police, and they're not here to hurt anybody. They just need to identify you. Ah. Open sesame. Do what you have to. Just try not to cause too much of a commotion. Of course, thank you for your cooperation. Pardon us, sir. Are you here to mock me? Huh? I asked if you came to mock me. I'm sure you'd love nothing more than to stick it to the illustrious Diet member who fell off his perch and into the gutters. Wait, I know you. This must be Representative Gable of the Imperial faction. Well, former representative anyway. You were lying low at St. Ursula after your corruption was exposed. Oh, he was the guy in the hospital that was like hiding, being like, you have to save me. So you know my story. Well, you found your man. What are you going to do with me now? I'll have you know I'm completely broke. Mirrorless. I wouldn't even be able to afford this apartment if not for a mercy of an old acquaintance of mine. Is that why you're here? To use me for what few connections I have left? No, of course not. We're only here to verify who the current occupant of this room is. So just to confirm, Mr. Gable, the current occupant would be you, correct? Yes, you've got the right of it. That's all we need to know. As long as there isn't anything illicit going on here, you're fine. I do have to question, though. Why use such a ridiculous name on your change of residence form? Don't tell me you actually expected to fool anyone with a name like that. It was an instant red flag. That it was, unless we're dealing with the rise of a literal ghostwriter here. Right. Truth is, I've always been a big fan of Sean Arnham's. It was the only name I could come up with when I was staring at that form. Oh, so that's why. It's true that Sean Arnham's work is appropriate for all ages, I suppose. No shame in being young at heart. That's one way to spin it. Shut up, just leave me be already. You got what you came for, now get out of my house. Yes, please excuse us. I think it's time, Lloyd. Right. We'll be going now. I never expected to run into Representative Gable, of all people. All things considered, he may still be better off than some of the other former Diet members. Agreed. The ones who ended up getting arrested in the wake of the cult incident have it way worse. I'd say they got what they deserve, but good luck convincing them of that. The big takeaway here is that your past misdeeds will always come back to haunt you. That's just the way the world works. Still, I'm sure he can turn his luck around if he works hard and mends his old ways. I still have hope that Mr. Gable and all the other ex-representatives can be reformed and find peace. Hopefully Ernest can do the same too one day. Our leader isn't just fearless, he's oh so compassionate. On that note, why don't we grab some drinks at Trinity? We could always use a few after all that talking. We're still on duty, you know. Anyway, that takes care of everything we need to check on downtown. I think we've just about wrapped up our investigation, in fact. Let's head back to the Civic Center and give our report. Sounds like a plan. We'll go ahead and do that and then end things off for the video. Pretty gloomy quest for a gloomy day. No. Civic Center. Hello, everyone. How goes your investigation of those suspicious addresses? It's all finished, actually. We're here to give you our report. Lloyd handed over the copied change of residence forms with their names corrected. Oh my, you all did a wonderful job. Interesting. 3 Calvardians moved into the residential district, while a group of Erebonians moved into East Street. As for downtown district, what's this? Is something wrong? No, not at all. I just wasn't expecting to see Mr. Gable's name here. I have mixed feelings about it, given how often I used to see him in this building before he fell out of favor. It's strange. Despite his corruption and everything that happened with the Imperial faction, I just can't bring myself to hate him. I know exactly how you feel. He seemed more like a straightforward person that most, at least... Wait, what? He seemed like a more straightforward person that most, at least, for better or for worse. That didn't make any sense. If only the man were half as wholesome as his taste in literature, then maybe he'd be better liked. I suppose I can't disagree. In any case, I believe this wraps up your investigation, SSS. The next step for residential affairs is to file the paperwork and sort everything out. Thank you all for your help today. You're welcome. We're always happy to be of service. Please let us know if there's anything else we can assist with. Alright, well that takes care of that one. So next time we just have one more job to get done for today. The beta tester stuff for Chief Roberts. And then after we finish off with that, we'll head over to Ashley over at Nine Volley to see what she has to say about our eye patch man. So that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.